Gotta get it. Gotta spit it. We gotta spit it. We gotta get it. Gotta get it. We gotta get it. We gotta get it. Gotta get it. So today was an interesting conversation. Transformation all day. And this is just for educational purposes only. This was a place we did a demo over here. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to talk about today about I wanted to talk about the so-called black Native American, also first Christian, also first Jesus. You heard? That's right. I want to talk about that today because sometimes we're not talking about it, and there's a reason why people don't want to say the truth about it. So after all these years, we had to wait for Elon Musk to talk about it, and we had to wait for the Russian president to talk about it, because obviously there's something going on. To the break of dawn, you know, and I'm grateful and thankful to be able to talk about it today. And I think it's important to talk about because some people are, not really given the whole story. They're given his story, but sometimes they're not given the whole story. So once again, today we're talking about the so-called first black Christians, so-called first black Native Americans, and also Christians. And I want to know if you know if that's how it started. Because I was just on a conversation on Instagram. It got very heated, but for a very good reason. And I just had to say it like this because we engaging in a conversation. Some people are still, and justifying all the unconscious bias, and still, denying the fact, even to the point where we're talking about melanin, and the first Christians. Let's talk about that first. First of all, we know that one of the first Christians were Coptic, coming out of Ethiopia, which also has some connections to Nigeria, so basically we're talking about the connections between Kemet and also the motherland. So yes, we got to talk about this. We're talking about the first believers, the first Native Americans, who were melanated. Yeah, that's right, melanated. So once again, y'all heard it from Elon Musk. You heard it from the Russian president, and how many other people was trying to tell us, and we was just like nah, because every time I look on Telling Lies to Your Vision, I'm seeing another image, another vision. And this is what's been happening. Is that sometimes when they came up and people didn't know, then they was like, nah, you think most people would just say, okay, when a brother come out, but just remember the fact that when one person came along and they went against that theory that the world was flat, mad people wasn't in agreement to that. They was like, nah, we already got this one. We don't know nothing about that, son. And a lot of people, right, was like, nah, you talking about the world is round. What? What you talking about, man? You probably got a slap for that. Flavor Flav style. You probably got a slap for that. You know what I mean? So I just say that to say that don't throw the. So once again, y'all, Elon Musk told you, what I'm saying? He showed you. And a lot of y'all think it's something else connected to it. Listen, at the end of the day, if we really want to get into the truth about this, we have to understand when oppression is at hand. If you study the book called it's called the Art of War, you will learn that when you read the Art of War, that when people are your oppressor, sometimes they're gonna do things to make you lesser. That's right. They're gonna describe you. They're gonna put you down low. Even to the point they went to the Constitution and they was, you already know this. You know what I'm saying? That's right. They even went to the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? And put that, melanated person was less than a man. You know what I'm saying? Wait, even to the point, if you look at Jack Johnson, one of the best fighters, you know what I'm saying, that was holding it down. And, he made some errors, of course, but he did it because there was so much people that was, that had a lot of haterade. That's why I love my haters hat on. Jack Johnson was beaten down, you know what I'm saying? He was showing them, that, listen, we got them hand skills. We always had those hand skills. Their hand skills, out of respect, I'm going to say this. Did not originate in China. Their hands, listen, when you go a little deeper, you will start to understand that there are so-called black, Chinese, and Japanese as well. Come on. You want to get technical? Let's do it. Once again, when you hear the story about the crucifixion, and I'm not talking against believers, but I'm just saying, if you believe in this thing, you got to know this thing. When we do the historical search, all right, this ain't a mystery that, when we talk about Christ, we also talking about some other thoughts that the African people was talking about, the so-called African people was trying to talk about when you study about Heru. Did over time the ideologies change up? Yes, they did, because of the Romans. Yes, they did, because of the Romans. So I don't stay just in that idea, knowing about a resurrection or a Saurian resurrection. I don't stay there. But it's very good information to know that when people get their hand on something, sometimes they'll change it and rearrange it. So you got to know and study your word, not just believe. Thank you for your ideas about Jack Johnson. Yeah, Jack Johnson, through the fight, listen, Jack Johnson brung it. He brung the noise. And he didn't, listen, he wasn't so concerned about the money. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the baddest fighters, and also Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali said, oh, listen, I'm gonna make my religion known, and I don't care what the man got to say about it. I'm gonna even give this belt up. I'll even do time. I'm not going to fight for the military. Come on, man. Take your hat off for Muhammad Ali. Stop playing with me. Take your hat off for, come on, let's just soak that up for 9 seconds. Muhammad Ali said, no, your BS got to go. And even though he might have been scared and shook, like a lot of other fighters who were just focused about money, he said, no, I'm going to leave something here. Listen, legacy. We know he took something in the brain. We know that he had to say them I ams to get rid of the fear. But even today, I don't want to say it. Why? Because 90 to 95% of Christendom ain't going to tell you about the melanated Jesus Christ and first Christian. And if you want, then we also got to, it's all about love. It's not just about one people. It's all about love. And we got to be able to embrace the original stories. You know what I'm saying? And give God all the glory that we love knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And that we're loving one another. As the scripture says, a house divided can never stand. You know? So I just say that and share this today because the information is there for those who got eyes to see. You know? And I'm just like, I'm not in agreement to people say it don't matter. It does matter. Because there's a lot of people that don't know or cut off the flow. Yeah, they cut off the flow, and then okay, why am I Why I keep doing this? Why I keep resisting myself? Why I keep, I talk to people. I say, I called you a king. Oh, this. Hello, I'm trying to help you. That's a life-giving word. Instead of you receiving it, oh, that, this, that. Be quiet. If somebody give you encouragement and you love yourself, why you just can't receive it? Come on. So then they give people low self-esteem. We got to deal with that thing. If it's giving people any type of things that's bringing them down, they got unconscious bias, or they got unbelief. We got to deal with these things. Talking defeat, destruction, haven't dealt with the past. Come on, we got to deal with it. And we know the American education need an upgrade situation. We know that. Come on, these are the facts. If they go into public school, we know they need upgrade to the highest degree. We know that. Okay, guys. So like I was saying, I didn't want this thing to get cut off because of that music over there. So like I was saying, guys, knowledge. Some people say knowledge is power. Knowledge is power when applied properly. Like I said, this is not to divide. This is so that we can be able to have multiplication. You know what I'm saying? Multiplication, and not get caught up in religion. Because what happens now when you go to other places, instead of embracing who you are, and unifying, it becomes a message of division. I see it all the time on TikTok. So we got to embrace, and there are plenty of books that talked about this subject, and the evidence is there. The evidence is there, even to the point when we doing a study on words. Oh man, they've been doing a lot of dirt, putting words and things together, and you didn't even know who made the dictionary. Who made the dictionary? It started to put ideas even in the Bible that try to disconnect you from becoming better. That don't mean you shouldn't read it, but to be able to read it with a new mindset, knowing that you got to be sharp shooter, that you got to be a sharp studier, and and just be mindful of what you say and what you pray, because the enemy don't mind you cutting yourself off. The enemy don't mind you saying, I don't deserve it. The enemy don't mind you saying, I don't deserve it. Lord, give it to somebody else. I don't want it. The enemy don't mind, putting his hand out. But then when you put your hand out, they don't want to give it to you. But they're going to take that tax money. So listen. Know yourself, know your story, and not just his. And for those who just coming in, we talking about the melanated. That's right, melanated Christ, the melanated believer, the first melanated believers, and the first ones over here in America that were melanated, high level, not the whitewashed out. Don't disrespect, but you know what I'm talking about. Origin, the first, not the worst. No justifying, no justification. Oh, it don't matter. It matters. Get your knowledge up. It matters. Get your knowledge up. Because then they can have you on another ideology, and if it's on that psychology and on that, what you call it, they got you in the abstract ideas, and you cutting self off, You better wake up and smell a divine coffee. Come on. You need nobody talking you down, bringing you down. And then you on that low frequency sound. No, don't do that to yourself. So that's why I'm having that talk today. Thank